now when it comes to there we go. When it comes to that. So I think it's obviously subjective, but overall I think it should be a red.
Okay. All right. Well, I like your explanation. By the way, that wasn't short, but that's okay. We'll move on.
I tried my best. I apologize.
Can I ask something to Dr. Crane real quick?
Sure.
I feel like based on what you said that the intent was very clear and not malicious, and that he did not even look at the Bosnian player on the other side. So if the intent is clear that he's going for the ball, then why should that be a red? Especially if in slow motion we know that the actual intent, it doesn't actually show you what's actually going on.
Get in,
Brando. Can you repeat that first part? We couldn't really hear you in the first part of it. What was that?
He says you're wrong.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
in less words, yes. So when you said, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you said that because of the slow motion, it makes the intent look worse than what it actually was, right?
Right.
Because he's going for the ball. He's not actually going towards the Bosnian player. He's not looking at his calf in that play. Right. So if that's the case, why are you saying it should be a red card when the intent is clearly not to actually hurt him or to make that play?
I'm going off what FIFA has done in tournaments past is whenever there is a studs up tackle, when I mean studs, I'm talking about the bottom of the cleat. Whenever it is up in the upward motion and landing on another opponent, that's normally leading to a red. That's always kind of like the cardinal rule of they're going to always give a red in that case. The only reason why I am solely set on saying it's a red card is because the ankle rolled. And when the ankle rolled, that's when Flo Balogun's cleat kind of went more into the ground. It, again, was all incidental, and that's why I say it's subjective. And I'm with you, Brandon. It shouldn't be, but because of the I guess going back to Law 12, the endangerment of the player, because if it did end up leading to a broken ankle or something like that, what FIFA could do is have him banned for the next match, and then they could also escalate it to 2 or 3 more matches. Like if we go back into early on in the group stages for Canada, that is, there was a player that broke his leg, and the player that fouled him got a red card and then ended up getting a match ban. Then after that, FIFA looked at it again and said, well, this guy's not going to play the rest of the tournament, and we're going to escalate that now to 5 games. If that makes sense.
I get that, but incidental contact, that's a thing. It's a physical game at the end of the day.
I agree.
I mean, and you may not be wrong in terms of like what things are saying by the book, but FIFA is wrong. I'm not afraid to say that.
100%. No, I agree 100%. I'm just trying to, I don't know, just call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Just kind of going off of the book. I don't think the book is, the Bible in this case for FIFA when it comes to rules, but that's kind of where it leads to right now.
I still believe your take is wrong, but that's okay.
That's fine.
I respect our amazing crime on crime.
Yeah, I respect our amazing soccer analyst from Dr. Crane, but I can't agree with him on this. Incidental contact is a thing. I think intent is important, and it's not. I mean, it's so clear that Balogun just falls. They're both going for the ball. They're fighting for it. He just happens to fall. It's an accidental play. To me, that would be the equivalent of having a edge rusher suspended because an offensive lineman pushed him into a quarterback's knee. That makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean,
it's illogical.
You make all valid points, but I'm just going off what is stated in the Law 12 of it all. It endangers the player because of the ankle roll. And again, the issue I have with this entire conversation is VAR. They're the ones that have initiated this slow motion of the replay, which is kind of taboo. You're not supposed to do that because when you take away the, one speed motion where it's just fluid, it takes away that aspect of it. It makes it look more malicious when it's slowed down. So I'm with you on that 100%. I'm just stating when FIFA always sees a studs up tackle, more than likely they're going to give a red card.
The law may be the law, but the law is not always correct.
I agree. No, I agree, man. 100%.
This is going to be settled by a duel on Broadway at 2:00 today.
I can't be here at 2:00.
Do you know what a duel is?
Yeah, a duel. Like one of those medieval duels.
Medieval. Early American duels? Yes. You and Brando on Broadway. That's what's going to happen when they settle this out.
I could never do that with Brando. He's the man.
He torched you right there, pal. Just torched you. I'm kidding. He did not.
No. We had a what's the best way to put it? Conversation that is agreed to disagree.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's good. But he called you out. Anyway, what's next? Belgium, Monday?
Yes, Belgium on Monday.
And?
I like the U.S.'s chances. Obviously, without Flo Balogun, it's going to be a little challenging. They might play Pepe up top or, I don't know, maybe Tim Weah gets the start up top.
That's a good one.
I'm just indifferent with the number 9 up top, man. There's really no solidified number 9 in my opinion. That's why looking back at that Turkey game, I really wanted to see some true production out of the forward group, and it just wasn't there. So that's what I'm a little worried about. I think we're going to have to see more of a wider game, if that makes sense. The ball's going to be pushed out more into the wide areas where Pulisic will be, along with Serginho Dest on the right. I did like how the U.S. adjusted after the 27th minute.
Me too.
When Bosnia and Herzegovina were overloading the right side of the pitch. Right. And then what did the U.S. do after the hydration break?
They overloaded the left side.
They saw that. They switched the ball, and they started exploiting the left side of the field. So I think what Mauricio Pochettino is doing on the field and kind of making the in-game adjustments is spot on. It's something that we really haven't seen in years past with the U.S. men's national team.
Where's Pochettino from?
Argentina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was singing Country Road after the
I saw that, man.
And you know what?
Look at these people weighing in on your soccer knowledge. Really? By the way, I got to say, Dr. Crane had what we call yesterday a grand slam day. He predicted who the Preds were going to get. The guy knows his hockey insider, texted me Tuesday night about who the Preds were going to get, and it happened. He said the Preds would beat Bosnia yesterday. Would be no problem, although the last 10 minutes was pretty hectic last night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they were.
But they were just on and on and on, which was good. So you got it. So you've been hitting some home runs, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, your NHL knowledge, it's amazing.
It's vast.
Yeah. You're like, Bork is coming. And I was like, no way. Next thing you know, Maverick Bork on his way to Nashville.
Yep. I'm even surprised the taxi driver over there. He's like, oh, my goodness, no way.
And then you were like, things are afoot in Nashville. I'm like, what are you talking about? Kerfoot signed?
Alex Kerfoot. Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? So I love the way you subtly just throw little one-liners in there and make me like, what's happening here, you know?
Always keeping you on your toes.
Yeah. Because Tuesday night you're like, move over, Tom Cruise. And I'm like, what? And then Maverick Bork.
Yeah.
I'm like, man. And then you said things are afoot in Nashville. So anything else happens, I'll be quiet, right?
Context clues.
It's quiet in the NHL world.
What I tell you yesterday, it's all filling the bottom half of the roster. That's what they're doing.
Everybody's scared to make a big contract, make a big deal about this. So coming up 12:15, we got some very good news on the McGavick High School baseball gator. It has been recovered thanks to you guys who called a tip into the police, and they found the gator. And we'll talk to Coach Holt around 12:18 just for a few moments about how it all came together. So thank you all guys for getting together and finding the gator. I tell you, when we come together for good, we cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
Right? We cannot be stopped.
Again, this is the platform to do so because, like I said yesterday, there are more, I guess, good-hearted people in this world than there are with the malicious and negative Nellies in the world.
There you go. So we got – look at all these questions for you, Dr. Crane, about soccer, man.
Okay.
3446 says, how do you go about the book and say it's really subjective? Get in, 3446.
No, I'm just saying for FIFA, after the call has been basically initiated as a red card, after the game, teams are allowed to appeal that. And that's where I'm saying you go by the book then. So with that being said, you go back and look at it in slow motion. That's technically not by the book.
Right.
When you go by the book, you watch it in full motion. That's why I think the rules committee after the game should watch it back in regular time, real time, which could allow an appeal process for the U.S. team to say, hey, this could be either overturned or elongated for the suspension.
FIFA said they can't appeal it.
No, I'm just saying. No. I'm saying the U.S. probably will not appeal it because FIFA normally will not overturn it. I'm saying they do have the opportunity, but I don't think the U.S. will appeal it.
Brando, Marshall still on the line?
Yes, he is.
All right, let's bring Marshall into the show, 615-737-1025. Marshall, welcome in. You want to talk about the red card. What's going on, man?
Yeah, hey, guys. Thanks for letting me chime in. So I'm not a big soccer fan, but I think this is an interesting conversation that Nick and Brando had. And I'm trying to, parallel it between with the NHL because I'm a huge hockey fan. And so what I equate it to is like a player will get a 2-minute minor for a high stick, right?
Yep.
But unless the person who gets high stick bleeds, right? give him a bloody nose or a bloody eye or something, then that's who's that?
Major.
4 minutes, 5 minutes, major. Yeah. So that's kind of what I equated to. I mean, Nick, help me. Is that kind of like a good comparison?
Yeah,
Like it's not like a high 6-2 minutes. You make the guy bleed. It's a major. That's not really fair.
yeah,
But that's what the rules are.
yeah. No,
So I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Thank you, Marshall. Appreciate it. You're
Thanks, Marshall.
pretty accurate with that. I really do think if you go back and watch the red card given to Flo Balogun, if the Bosnia and Herzegovina player's ankle does not roll, that's a yellow card, hands down, yellow card. I thought yesterday the entire match in general was piss poor when it comes to
language.
I'm sorry. It's just when it comes to the officiating, it was brutal. There were not a lot of yellow cards given. There was one red card given, and this referee has had a bad run-in with the Brazilian top league, and when it comes to red cards and yellow cards, actually had to go to a FIFA ruling in some cases to overrule some of his calls. So he has not been consistent with them. And again, that's what is so intriguing about soccer, especially with the referees. Not all of them are the exact same. That's why you have the rules committee afterwards that reviews them. And but to Marshall's point, though, he is right when it comes to hockey.
Right,
player gets a bloody nose, that's a major. In this case, if the ankle doesn't roll, it's not a red card. That's my opinion.
And if the glove doesn't fit,
well, we know
don't quit.
All
right, we'll take a break here. We'll continue. You guys continue. I love it. Bashing Dr. Crane for his take on the game. 615-737-1025. Brando got you, man. I'm kidding.
I don't care.
I'm kidding.
Everybody has their own opinion, Joe. It's America.
It is. Yeah. God bless America.
Thank you.
All right, we'll come back. 12:30. Chris Sanders is going to join us. 1:30. Mike Organ's going to be here with us at the Omni at Barlines. Talk all things. We'll talk a lot of football coming at 1:30 way today. So with all that, we'll come back. We'll talk to McGavock High School baseball coach with the good news we got. We need good news. This is good news when we come back. This is Chase and Big Joe show right here on 102.5 The Game. All right, welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe Show live today at the Omni Nashville Hotel, downtown Nashville at Barlines. That's a real man, right? That's a cowboy right there walking by. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Welcome back. All right, so yesterday we had on the head baseball coach at McGavock High School, Kevin Holt, talking about the gator that was stolen, this vital piece to keeping the field looking good and all the kids and making the baseball field perfect and everything else it does. Well, we got some good news. We're joined now by Kevin Holt, the McGavock baseball coach. Coach, I hear we have some new news on this. Tell us what's the latest.
Yes. So yesterday I got a tip on social media, a picture and a message that said, "Is this your gator?" And it was located in Donaldson. I couldn't verify it, of course, without the VIN number. So I said, it looks very similar. Sent the person a picture back of our gator that I had. And she said, I think it's yours. Will you contact the police? So that's what I did. And they were able to verify the VIN number. I didn't get confirmation of that until this morning, but they also took someone into custody for being in possession of the gator yesterday.
Good. So all right, so I know there's some things you got to go through to get it back. When do you expect, are you going to, what have the police told you the latest? Come pick it up this afternoon or what?
No, an officer was messaging me last night when they were recovering the vehicle. I asked for confirmation on the VIN. You know, they said that would have to come from a detective, and that the detective would also let me know about the impound procedure and how to get it back. So I haven't heard from anybody today. I know it's coming up on a holiday weekend. So I'm not sure if we'll get it back before the end of the week or if it'll be something early next week.
So how much does this let you breathe now that you're pretty much sure you got your gator back?
Yeah, it's a big relief. I was pumped last night after it was located, and I knew that the police were making contact with the people just to check the numbers, and then ended up making an arrest. It's a huge relief.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, well, Coach, thank you, and I know you're busy. Thank you for the couple of minutes you've given us today to let us update on this, because I just want to tell there are good people in this world, and the fact that somebody sent you a tip, we get the gator back, all is good. So, Coach, thank you. And again, if you ever need anything, please reach out to me, and we'll do the best we can to help you get things done, man. Coach, appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for your attention and helping us getting the word out. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That's Kevin Holt, head baseball coach at McGavock. Look at that. Good people in the world, Dr. Crane.
Indeed. Absolutely. That's how you do it right there.
I mean,
social media, I feel like if it was around in the early 90s or early 2000s, we'd solve a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things, more good happening now than any time ever before. So I think it's great. I hate, we talked yesterday about this, about when these kids, I mean, they work their tails off, and it's a lot of pride, and some jackass comes and steals,
Language.
right? A vital jackass. Is it jackass not in the, hey, pretty, is jackass not in the Bible? I think it is.
No way.
I think the word is, I'm not going to go. I think it's in there.
I'm looking it up.
I think it is. But anyway, there's good in the world. So I'm glad somebody got the tip out there, got to Coach Holt, and we get the gator back. I mean, this is any school, every school.
No, it's not. I just looked it up.
It's one of the commandments. Thou shalt not covet. Look at it.
Well, yeah, but not that word exactly.
I'm not going to repeat the word again, but it's in the Bible.
Okay.
How do you went to a Catholic school? Did y'all not study the Bible all day?
Yeah, we studied the 10 Commandments, but I don't recall that being one of the ain't no way.
It is. How do you not know this? I'm pretty stupid.
Are you talking about thou shalt not commit adultery? Number 7? I mean,
no. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's
wife. Joe, I'm looking at it right here,
all right,
man. Like, all right, whatever. You know what?
Anyway.
You got me all. You got my brain in the daggum knot right
They
now.
got the gator back. I'm not sure what part of the scriptures that's in, but they got the gator back. And so that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. I don't know what Bible you're reading from, but just let me know.
This word is in the Bible. This word right here is in the Bible.
Oh, yeah, but I thought you meant in front. The jack. No, that's not.
Huh?
Never mind.
What's a donkey?
Yeah.
What's a donkey
yes,
called?
I know.
Is
I
a
know.
donkey not a jackass?
Yes, to a certain degree.
No,
but-
there's no degree. You don't need a degree to figure that out.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. But it's not in the Ten
Say it
Commandments,
louder.
though. It's not in the Ten
Brando, mark
Commandments.
this.
Joe, you're just an absolute. You got
Mark
me in
it.
you got me in shambles over here.
Say the JoJo was correct.
The JoJo was correct. But look, I was saying that together. That's not in the Bible.
But that is.
Yes, that is. No, I agree. I'm saying about that
but
together.
But that means that. All right, this is. Are we still on the radio, Brando?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. By the
All
way, the
Yep.
specific one you're talking about, the 10th commandment, Exodus 20:17, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his ox, nor his word you guys were saying, nor anything
Thank
that is
you.
thy neighbor's.
Yeah.
Brando's the best. Why can't you be more like Brando?
I'm
Right.
not Brennan Bigsby, man. I mean, this guy graduated, and I mean, I did too, but not to the nth degree of Brennan Bigsby. I mean, come on.
Right. Brando, where'd you go to high school?
Hillsboro,
Hillsboro.
ironically, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, because the burro is a donkey,
Yeah.
which is a. See how it all, Dr. Crane?
It all
Good
comes
Lord
back.
intertwines it all, buddy.
You're right.
All right. Thank you, Brando. All right, we'll come back. We'll talk to Forever Titans receiver Chris Sanders. We'll get a lot of good football talk ahead as we're, 3 weeks out from the rookies reporting. And then football will be here before you know it. So we'll talk to Chris Sanders when we come back right here. This is the Chase and Big Joe Show brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel right here on 102.5 The Game. Back to the Chase and Big Joe Show live at the Omni Nashville Hotel, downtown Nashville. Right on 102.5 The Game, brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel. Chase McCabe on vacation. Dr. Crane with us. Normally at Friday at 1 o'clock, but we love this man so much. We're off tomorrow. We said, let's bring it up a day early. Welcome to the show, our good friend, forever Titan receiver, Chris Sanders. Chris, how are you, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It's hot as fish grease out here, but I'm actually doing good, man.
Right. First off, condolences to your mother-in-law. Very sorry about your loss, man.
Man, that's funny because we talked yesterday, and we just gotta celebrate people while they're here alive. And my mother, Valerie Watersmith, she was an amazing woman. She was feisty. She'll fight you, but man, at the end of the day, man, she was one of the special people in my life.
You know, I hate it because it's all part of life and saying goodbye to somebody.
Yeah.
I hate it, but Sunday night, Dr. Crane and I had the opportunity to interview Shaquille O'Neal. Great, it was a great interview. And at the very end, I said, "Check, anything else you want to tell the crowd?" And Chris, he said, "Tell people you love them." Because he said, I never got to tell Kobe Bryant that I loved him. And that's what he said Sunday night.
And it's wild, too, because it's the anniversary of, Steve McNair in a couple of more days. And they asked me the same question. What could I have done different when I had a relationship with Steve McNair?
Yeah.
We focus so much on all this other stuff about cover 2 and cover 3 and all that crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, tell the loved ones that you love them because you never know what might happen.
Yeah, that's right. And Shaq said he had a sister that got cancer pretty quickly, and she passed away. He's like, I was mourning her, and I never told her that I loved her. I never told her before that I loved her. He's like, so always tell people any chance you get that you love them. And he said he'll forever regret not telling Kobe how much he loved him.
It's just, just like, I called you yesterday, and I tell D-Mace this all the time. I haven't told him this in a while, and chasing these guys. I just call you guys periodically just to tell you how much I care about you because you just never know, man, because life is so valuable to be gone. So just take the time out to tell the ones you love them and say you care about them. It just takes 5 seconds.
Well, it's crazy. Every sport you play, there's a bond. You play baseball, you play basketball, there's a bond. But the football bond is the one I know best. And Chris, we were talking about Chris Johnson today and what he's going through now. And he talked about all these teammates reached out to him.
Wow.
And there's just this bond when you sweat with the guy and you celebrate with the guy, when you cry with the guy, there's that bond that's there forever. So it's good to hear how many people have reached out to talk to him and to help him out. But that's what it's all about, right? That's why we play this. We play the sport to win, but it's also you play the sport because you become brothers with people.
Yeah, but the funny part about the crazy part about it is why do we reach out when something bad happens? You know what I'm saying? That's where I want to get better at because I love that guys are reaching out and care about them and such and that. But why do we wait till somebody has ALS or die of cancer or go through a tragedy? Why don't we take the time out and say we love them? And it's funny because yesterday. I ain't talked to Eddie George probably in about 6 months, but I called him yesterday and just told him how much I love him. Now, he called me back, whatever. And we talked for about an hour just about football and everything. Tell him how much you love him and how much you care about him. We was in tears, man, because we actually love each other.
We're on the line here with Chris Sanders, forever Titans wide receiver. Chris, you hit the nail on the head, man. I'm the same way. I know I didn't play football at the NFL level, but obviously high school football is where everybody stays grounded. You're a coach at NBA. You probably keep in touch with a lot of those players. It just there's something about the football camaraderie, especially in the locker room. You're just obviously you spend a lot of time with these guys left and right every single day of the summer, basically more time away from your family than you are hanging with your family. There's just a special bond when it comes to stuff like that.
I mean, it's a brotherhood, and we say that, and we kind of throw it around like it's kind of like a handkerchief. But at the end of the day, when you talk about brotherhood, it's sweating, it's crying together, it's laughing together, it's going through the trials together. It's going to where when we moved in Memphis, we got booed, and then we come to Vanderbilt, we get booed, and then we go to the Super Bowl, and we celebrate something together. And it just makes it better when you go through the grind, when you go through the disappointments, when you go through the tears, when you go through the sweats, when you go to two-a-day. Away from you is gone, and it just hurts.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, Chris, kind of when it comes to the, I guess, off season, now the Titans are still waiting to come back for training camp.
Yeah,
you feel how hot it is outside.
It's hot as fish grease out here.
Exactly. How difficult was it when you came back? Obviously, you were probably in shape because you had to be ready for training camp. But How difficult was it just to get back in the swing of things?
It wasn't hard because at these 40 days or these 20 days that these guys have off, and I had off when I played, is I made sure I was prepared. So when I first got drafted, I was in Houston, and Houston is like way hotter than this. So what I did is I prepared myself. I did my sprints in the sun. I did everything to where I was acclimated to when I get to camp, I'm ready. So when I got to camp, it was like riding a bike because I already prepared. So you got guys that have a couple of weeks off. You have to be a professional. You have to run sprints. You have to study your playbook. You have to do the things as a professional. So when you get in camp, you're absolutely ready, not getting ready when you get into camp.
What was did you always make your condition? What was the conditioning test like when you played?
Hated it. It was a 300-meter shuttle.
Explain that for those who don't know what meters are, like me.
Awful. I mean, it was a 300-meter shuttle, and I made it with ease because I was prepared. But at the end of the day, when you do the conditioning test, it was hard, it was hot, it was sweaty, and, you know, guys not making it, guys throwing up. But I was prepared, so that's why I made, the quota.
And you also had to do that in the Texas heat, so that's a whole different heat, right?
With pads on. With pads on. And, just imagine that. Just imagine being in Houston, but we had camp at Trinity, and it's even hotter to where – it was funny. This is a weird thing. Is when I went to camp, I weighed 191, and this is a true story. I left camp weighing 169.
Good Lord.
Yeah, because I sweat so much. I'm like walking to dinner sweating and walking to different places, losing like 3 or 4 pounds. I went in there weighing 190-something, leaving 169. That's how hot it was.
So I guess now we had your coach Fisher on a few weeks ago and talked about the conditioning. He's like, now the time is limited, that when you come to camp, you better be in shape because they don't have time to worry about you failing conditioning tests.
Yeah, you can't. Listen, first of all, if I'm a veteran, if I'm a leader, I'm not going to come in out of shape. And the thing about it is, we always talk about guys being a professional, guys doing their job 110%. It's not just, just doing it while the coaches are looking. It's what you're doing behind the scenes. If I have this little time off and I'm sitting there going to the beach and, I'm eating a whole bunch of Twinkies and, not doing sprints, and then I get all of a sudden I get into camp and I can't finish, a practice, that's a bad news. It's kind of like the situation with Traden Burks. And he came back, but he had a situation where he came into camp and he was out of shape. So he couldn't even finish the practice. You can't come into camp like that. You got to come in ready for camp.
Which gives me my favorite Bum Phillips line of all time, when Earl Campbell couldn't finish his mile run. And somebody said, Coach, what are you going to do about Earl Campbell not finishing his mile run? And Bum Phillips said, well, when it's 3rd and a mile, I'm not going to give him the ball. It's like, yes, such a great line.
But you know what's so wild is when I trained with Eddie George, have you noticed that he never missed a game? Even when he was hurt and had a turf toe or had rib, anything to do, he never missed a game. You know the reason why he never missed a game?
Because he's superhuman?
Because he was superhuman, but he prepared like he wasn't going to miss a game. Like when we were at TSU, everybody went to go eat and go to chow hall and do their things. He's out there running sprints and lifting weights while we're asleep. That's why he's the best. That's why he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and that's why he's in the Ring of Honor. Why? Because he prepared to be the best.
Absolutely. NFL Network came out with the top 100 players, and I'm going to take some heat for this. I don't care. I hate the top 100 list because you can't compare a quarterback to a safety to an offensive tackle to a full. You can't. Jeffrey Simmons comes in at number 83, which people are like, how is he 83? But if you break down the individual positions, that dude is top in the NFL. So I don't care if he's 83rd, 9th, or not on the list. We know what Jeffrey Simmons is.
Yeah, but you got to understand it's the top 100. It's not just out of 100 people. So even though he's 83, that means he's still the best of the best. But I agree with you. I think this is my opinion. I think he's a top 20 player. And the reason why he's a top 20 player, because he impacts the game. I mean, you have the list that's before him. I know you have Jamar Chase. You have different guys like that impact the game. But here's the deal. Jeffrey Simmons impacts the game at his position because you got to be aware of him. You make offenses nervous, and I think he's a top 20 player.
Chris Sanders online with this. Chris, I may have asked you this before. If I have, please stop me. But when it comes to the wide receivers in the NFL at a broader scheme here, Brandon Ayuk, another player that it just seems to have some off-the-field issues and obviously trying to find a trade partner. It doesn't seem like San Francisco is going to be his future. If you could sit in a room with him, what would you tell him just to get back on the right track?
Say all those things. And
He's on that cricket phone.
Yeah, you got to put more minutes on it.
Hey, Brando, we have. Can you call Chris back if you don't mind, Chris?
Yeah,
just hold on. We're going to reconnect with you, Chris. So don't go anywhere. We're not going to take a break either.
Yeah.
Listen, Chris will be right back with us. But the Simmons thing, I don't like the list. I don't like because you can't
number 83.
You can't compare everything to that.
Yeah,
break it down individual positions. Right. That's what I always have trouble. He's the greatest football player of all time. No, he's not. He's the greatest at that position of all time. Right. I think Anthony Munoz is the greatest left tackle of all time.
Okay.
All time. Right. So, but he's not the best football player of all time.
Sure.
He's that position's best player of all time. So I'm not a big fan of all the big lists and all. And I get it's summertime. We talk about it and everything that goes on.
You know, if you look at the top 100 in the NFL, more than likely the top 10 are going to be all quarterbacks.
Yes, I get it.
It's a quarterback-driven league. I understand that, but it is what it is. Chris, as I was kind of mentioning you before you kind of lost connection there, for a guy like Brandon Ayuk,
that was my cricket phone.
That's all right. We'll put more minutes on after we get off. When it comes to Ayuk, like, what would you say to him in a room if it was just you and him in a room with, I don't know, a couple lights? What are you telling the guy?
You know what I would say to him is taking advantage of what you have now, because you're never going to respect it until it's gone. So right now you're saying some things that you shouldn't say and having an attitude that you're this and you're that. But when it's taken away, you're going to wish you were in this opportunity again. So what I would do is I would sit them down and say, listen, let's come up with a game plan to make whatever team you go with better. But when you go to that team, don't disrespect the other team, because you never know. One day you might want a coaching job, and you might ask them for a job, but they'll remember what you did and not hire you. So just take the time out and just make the right decisions. Talk to people with respect, because you never know when you might need them.
Yeah, to that point, Chris, when Joe was interviewing Shaquille O'Neal this past week, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, if I misstate this, but he was asked about just the respect factor these players may have for the league. He said none of them have the respect of the game. Are you starting to see that a little bit in the NFL?
Yeah, because the thing about it is it's not a bad thing to want to get a big paycheck. Absolutely. But if your love for the game is just to get a paycheck as opposed to the love for the game, then that's going to fizzle out. So when these young guys that are coming in, make sure you love the game. Make sure you love being coached. Make sure you love those things, because if you love the money more than the game, all of a sudden you're going to find yourself out of the game with nothing left. So that's what these young guys got to understand. Yeah, you want a big payday. Yeah, you want to get a big NIL deal, which is great. But don't lose the desire. Don't lose the hunger to be the best athletes ever. So that's what it is.
And Chris, that's why people like you are so special in high school football, because you're basically the Nick Sabans of the world, trying to instill I'm not saying Nick Saban exactly, but I'm just saying in general what they tried to instill in those players before the NIL era. This is football. Do you really love it, or do you hate it? If you don't like it, get on out of the program. Once you get to college, it's all about how much money can I make. And I feel like college is preparing these players for the business side of the NFL and not for the actual game itself.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, what do you want to develop and become? Do you want to become just a guy that just makes a lot of money, or do you want to develop into a great man, a great husband, a great father, a great human being? Because at the end of the day, you know what the NFL stands for? It stands for not for long, because at the end of the day, your career is going to end, but the person that you got to live with is going to go beyond what it is. So I love coaching kids. All I do is when I sit down and I mentor these kids, I tell them all the mistakes I made, because sometimes we as coaches, we wear the badge like we've never blown it. So now if I can teach these young guys the mistakes that I made, so now they don't make the same mistakes that I made. And then on the flip side, I get to teach everything that a Les Steckel and a Steve Waters taught me how to be a wide receiver, and inject my DNA to them and go out and start crushing teams. That's what makes me excited.
Talking to Chris Sanders on the Chase and Big Joe show. Chris, the calm before the storm, I guess Monday the football starts back up for high schools?
Oh, yes, and it is going to be hot as fish grease. We start on Monday. We start installing a lot of our plays and stuff like that, and then on the week after that, we start getting to 7-on-7, and then that next week, we start two-a-days, and that's when it gets fun and grimy and dirty, and I am so excited, brother.
You were such an explosive and good receiver in the National Football League. Could you ever coach DBs?
I don't like them. From one thing, I don't like those guys. But yeah, I could coach DBs because as a receiver, you have to have the mentality of a defensive back because you got to know what they're doing. And I love the tenacity. I want to get some great DBs like Blaine Bishop, Marcus Robertson, Stevie Jackson, D. Lou, all those guys that were really good. So yeah, I would love to coach defensive backs because the mentality that you have that I'm about to punch somebody in the mouth on the field, not off the field. Yeah.
Blaine ever hit you one good time? You're like, I'm going to avoid that side of the field?
No, Marcus Robinson did that on the first day of practice, and I'm like, what in a Sammy Hill is going on? Because, you know what I'm saying, my face mask twisted to the side, my mouth guard was on the track. I wasn't going to talk stuff because he's bigger than me. But a funny story with me and Blaine Bishop, the first day of practice, he called me out in one-on-one. He's like, oh, I heard you pretty fast at Ohio State, whatever. So I ran a post against him, and I blasted him for about 15 yards. He said, you know what? I'm never going to go against him in one-on-one again. True story.
Because those little cute little bow legs couldn't keep up with you, right?
No. Could you imagine him running trying to catch me on a post route when he's bow-legged like that? That's
I will tell you, though, I've seen a lot of big hits in my life. When he broke his forearm, when he hit, I guess it was Farrell Edmonds of the Raiders.
Yes.
At the first game at the Liberty Bowl. And it was in the end zone, and he said, I think I broke my arm, and he got back in the huddle. And we were like, what the hell is going on here with this guy?
But he's one of those teammates that you love to hate, that he's on your team. You're like, yeah, Blaine. But if he's on the other side, you're like, man, get up out of here. True story. We're at the Super Bowl, and we're doing a walkthrough. This is a day and a half before the Super Bowl. And him and Derek Mason about to get in a fight and walkthrough. So I'm like, what are we doing? And we had to stop practice because D. Mace and Blaine Bishop was going to get in the fight, but they made up and laughed afterwards. But that's how crazy Blaine was. But he's a great teammate. But if I was on the opposite team, I'd be like, man, I want to fight you every day.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, man, thank you. Tell your wife, man, give us our heart to your wife and your family for the loss. And we love you, brother. Thank you for everything.
Hey, I love you too. Always. Thank y'all so much. Okay, bye-bye.
Appreciate it, Chris.
Chris Sanders. Could you imagine how good would be coached by Chris Sanders?
It'd be pretty cool.
But, I was fortunate, and you did too, had some great coaches, but they never told me about their journey, right?
Yeah.
When Chris is saying, look, here's what I did and screwed up, don't do this, is pretty special, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had one coach that kind of stood out of all of them, and he just had a different path with football, and that was Corey Stewart. He's now still coaching here in the metro area, but he played in Germany, played D3, played all over the place. Like he was a true defensive back, played for the Nashville Venom back in the day. Like he played all over the place, and then became a football coach. Ryan grad, along with coaching elsewhere, is just a good thing to see. I mean, my offensive coordinator and offensive line coach, my freshman through junior year, Coach Williams. He played at Georgia Southern, and he was a part of the Wing T, and yeah, it was fantastic.
Wing T's bad. I'm not saying the word again. Yeah. Awesome. All right, we'll take another break. We'll come back. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines. Come on, see. It feels great in here, so don't worry about the heat. We're here till 3 o'clock today. This is the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game.
Great pull there, Brando. Back here on the Chase and McJoe Show, 102.5 The Game. Wonderful song to come back to after the U.S. men's national team won 2-0 yesterday. And we went a little long there with Chris Sanders, but it was job well done. To correct myself, it was not the wing tee, it was the triple option offense. So excuse me with that. As we can kind of wrap up the first hour here on the Chase and McJoe Show, we have plenty more. The one and only Rayon City's finest, Mike Organ, will be joining us around 1-ish, 1:30. So that'll be a fun one. And, as Joe is will be back here pretty soon. But, just wanted to chime in there for the time being, as we'll be back on the other side in hour number 2 of the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back to the second hour of the Chase and Big Joe Show live at the Omni Nashville Hotel, downtown Nashville at Barlines. It feels fantastic in here. We got a nice crowd. Everybody's hanging out. Chase McCabe on vacation. Dr. Crane here with me. Brando behind the board. Mike Orr going to be here at 1:30 to 2:30. Talk all things local sports. A lot of football we'll get into today. Dr. Crane, before we get into anything else, when Paul Skeens loses, he doesn't lose like, oh, you lost 5-4, but he gets blown out.
Yeah, sure.
And last night he got blown out. What's going on with him?
I don't know. I think he's trying to figure out just maybe pitch location, because obviously they're not locating properly. They're being located into the left field bleachers. That's
Hey-o!
I mean, his ERA has now
Did not see that coming.
No, I don't think so at all. And then you have his ERA jumping up to 3.62, which is not a great thing to see coming off a former Cy Young Award winner. But, maybe this is This is maybe a Paul Skeens cry for help, saying, look, if I can't produce here in Pittsburgh, just trade me. I know you guys still have a couple years under your belt of having me as part of your team, but if I'm not going to win here, then I'm going to show you that I can't win here.
So he was 6-2 with a 2 ERA back on May 12th. Now he's 6-8 with the ERA climbing to a 3.6.
Yep.
They're not trading that guy.
No,
right?
I was just joking.
Oh, okay.
Obviously so, but I would say opening day is what really hurt him. I mean, allowing 7-8 runs, whatever that was, and he had a 67 ERA after opening day, and
right.
It's just tough to really come back from that. If you have to lower your ERA, you're probably having to pitch 4 or 5 shutout innings or shutout games, that is, for him to go 6 innings plus. It's a tough task, and he got it down, like you just said, to a 2 ERA about a month ago, and ever since then he just hasn't been the same. Maybe it's the short rotation, talking about in between pitchers for their rotation. Maybe that's the case, or something along those lines. The run support has not been there for him when he's been out there in the 4th, 5th inning, and that's typically when you really need him to have run support, because if he can get ahead in the 4th or 5th inning, then 6th, 7th, and 8th can be just a coast ride for him.
He threw 35 pitches during a 5-run Phillies 2nd inning last night. That's a lot of pitches, buddy.
Yeah, a lot of pitches. Normally, if you're pitching a good ball game, that's around I'd say 4th inning, give or take. I mean, depending on how many ground outs you have or pop flies or how many strikeouts. But all we need to worry about is the strikeouts. And that is one thing in particular, and that's for Gary Sinise Foundation.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly right. Good turn on that right there.
Got to find the positive in everything.
For that being said. All right. So, we saw the list. Let's go back to the Jeffrey Simmons thing now. Number 83 player. And something like, how is he 83? I'm like, don't look at the overall number. Don't worry about it. It's good that he's on the list, but you can't compare quarterbacks to tackles, to safeties, to running backs. You just don't do that.
Right.
It's great he made the list, but I don't care about this list. I really don't. Just the fact that I know how good he is and how valuable he is. He's the number 1 player at his position in the National Football League.
Yeah, hands down he is. I mean, the only other person you can really think about that's retired, and that's Aaron Donald. Like I think that's the only other person you can really compare him to with his size and just the physique that he's really chiseled himself out for it being, year 8, year 9 for him?
It'll be year 8.
I mean, that's pretty impressive to have a prolonged career like that and still be able to produce at the highest level. I mean, we saw last year with the Tennessee Titans, the double teams that were on Jeffrey Simmons because of a guy like Tavondre Sweat. And now this year you have guys like Jackie Marshall, John Franklin Myers, and even add some of the edge rushers into the equation. There's going to be opportunities for him to attack the quarterback and not be double teamed every single time.
I told you I one time saw an Aaron Donald highlight reel, and I'm like, oh, this will be fun to watch. And it was him getting triple teamed and watching his teammates make sacks.
Yeah.
And he was like, they could triple team as long as somebody gets to the quarterback, I don't care. And I'm like, that's what Chris Sanders talked about all the time, that attitude of like team. So if he's swallowing up 2 or 3 blockers every time and you're getting loose to get to the quarterback,
you've done your job.
Give me that guy every day, right?
You've done your job. Oh, by the way, a little not programming note, but just a little note from last segment when I said wing T, it was actually the triple option. There you go.
Did you get in trouble?
No, just trying to help you out. I didn't want to stray you the wrong way.
I'm telling you right now, Tim Tebow's the greatest college football quarterback that I've ever seen. Tracy Ham from Georgia Southern ran the ham bone, which was a triple option, is the greatest running quarterback besides Tim Tebow I've ever seen in my life.
Is that so?
You look about. I mean, he's like 5'9", 180. I mean, he was never going to make it in the NFL, but he went to Canada and became a legend in the Canadian Football League. I'm telling you, the ham bone, nobody could stop the ham bone when Tracy Ham ran it.
When you have the right players to run that offense, the triple option, it's unstoppable. Because if you're the quarterback, say you're the linebacker, you got to read the midline, that read. Then you got a guy coming from the tight end position, running back into the backfield, then maybe running out to be the option pitch man.
Yeah.
And there's so many different facets to that offense that as a defensive player, as a linebacker or an edge, you have to really read. It's difficult. And if you, like I said, if you have the right personnel in there, it's unstoppable.
Well, that's what I said for years when Vanderbilt wasn't competitive. I was like, run the wishbone.
Yeah.
Why did Army and Navy run the wishbone? Right? Because they don't have the same amount of talent as other teams.
Right.
But when you'll go, say if you play a wishbone team week 5, probably going to get your butt ran down because you've had 4 weeks of going against the play action, 7-on-7, the West Coast, and now you get a wishbone team rolls into town. You're like, all right, we haven't practiced against this all year. And then so everybody's got to stay in the gap. Nobody ever stays in the gap, right? They always overshoot things, and you could take it away. One of the best quarterbacks, you weren't even born yet, was a Mississippi State guy named Don Smith in the mid-'80s. Unbelievable quarterback. Ran a wishbone, hybrid, threw the ball down the field. Couldn't stop him. Could not stop this guy.
That's what I like when I was in high school using that offense. I was thinking, because I was like I guess you call it the H-back or the fullback. I really don't know what you would really call that. I was
fullback.
Fullback, a true traditional fullback. I was
in a wishbone situation?
Triple option.
Triple option.
So I was
in 2 backs and 1 up?
No, 1 back in the backfield, and you had your little wing backs.
Oh, that's a wing tee. That's not an option.
Well, I said wing tee originally.
Yeah.
It formed a little bit of triple option.
An option is you got 3 guys in the backfield. You got a fullback and you got 2 tailbacks.
No, we'd ran a little wing tee action,
Okay.
but then it went to a different offense when Rector got there, to more of a spread style. That's where I became the H-back. That was rotational H-back. Didn't have a lot of reps there, but was more on the special teams when Rector got there. So
I don't need your resume.
I'm just saying in general.
Okay. Well, you play full. I get it.
Yeah, I know.
Decent player, not
Yeah,
bad.
Thanks, man.
Okay. But when you do like Alabama ran a wishbone in the 70s.
Yeah.
Stop it. Problem is with the wishbone, you get behind, you're screwed.
Exactly. That was the big issue with us. We were small. We were a small team. Like, we weren't tall. We weren't beefy. My freshman year when we beat Brentwood Academy at Father Ryan, that was crazy because we had big old guys. I mean, we're talking probably if they stuck around for 1 or 2 more years, probably would have won something. But they're all juniors and seniors. So.
Okay. It happens.
Yeah.
The wishbone was torn apart in the 1988 Orange Bowl when Miami beat Oklahoma. 20-14, Miami won the national championship, and it was down late in the game. Oklahoma couldn't move the ball down the field. You can't, because I think it was it Jamel Holloway? Maybe he got injured. Charles Thompson came in, or one of those 2 quarterbacks, and you just can't move the ball down the field fast. You're not good at it. You can't do it. And Miami College actually stopped 2 prolific offenses. They stopped the wishbone in 87, and they stopped the run and shoot in 91 with David Klingler at Houston because they learned just to go at you. You smother the receivers line of scrimmage, and you go all out to the quarterback. And David Klingler saw more of the Orange Bowl field than he did anything else, and it was unbelievable. So if your talent's not there, I'm all about the wishbone.
Yeah.
And get it done. Do you remember when MTSU, you're still young.
Maybe.
They played Mississippi State in Murfreesboro 2009. Mississippi State came up, running the wishbone.
With, what, Kroom?
I don't remember.
09?
09? No, I'm sorry. What Mississippi State? I'm talking Georgia Tech with Paul Johnson.
Okay, I said, wait a minute.
I'm sorry. Paul Johnson, Georgia Tech came in 09 in the middle, and you practice wishbone. First part of the game, they do a fake dive, and the receiver sprints right down wide open. First play of the game, 80-yard touchdown pass.
Because it bites everybody in. That I'm telling you, that midline read is the hardest to read if you're on the defensive side of the football. Because, I mean, when you get that big old alligator mouth down there, I mean, it's tough.
Well, Mahomes does a great job of riding that guy in and pull at the last second.
Hey,
does a great job.
I think the best fake we could probably say on hands down in the NFL or all time in the NFL would be Aaron Rodgers. That guitar fake does a really good job.
Pretty good.
I mean, that's top notch.
Man, I had a pretty good fake back in my day. He did some good play fakes. Peyton had some good play fakes. You're like, what? Where's the ball?
And
he torched Deion Sanders one time in the game.
He ran that touchdown in that one time with 10 yards, right? The slowest 10-yard touchdown.
Was that
run.
the Broncos Cowboys? He also did the Vols at Georgia.
Yeah, but he was with the Colts in this case.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, this was probably 2005.
Okay.
I have to go back and look, but
Well, he did one against Georgia on Saturday Night Football, and everybody, like 11 guys, submarine, and here's his big goofy butt rolling out to the left, and he did it against Alabama, did in the pros too. But if you're so good where you can play fake that way, then you could do anything. Ryan Tannehill was masterful at a play fake.
I must say he's one of the best play action quarterbacks the Titans have had in a long, long time.
Oh yeah,
I mean that was the bread and butter was the play action for them.
Yep.
It just worked.
Because you would like, all right, they're giving it to Derrick Henry. Oh, wait, it doesn't have. Next thing you know, you turn around, there's A.J. Brown running down the field, and Tannehill would just like boop, pop right in there. There it was.
How you doing? Keep it moving.
I like that.
You're welcome. Oh, by the way, I thought of you last night. They played Elvis,
Who did?
the U.S. men's national team game.
I thought they played Bosnia.
Well, no, after the game, they played music. They played West Virginia, and they played
Freebird?
Freebird. They played Sweet Home Alabama, and then they played Elvis.
Why they play
song.
Sweet Home Alabama?
I don't know.
It's Freebird.
I know they played Freebird, but they also played Sweet Home Alabama.
Really?
I swear. You go back and listen to it. Yep. Yep.
And what was the last one they played?
It was Elvis. I can't help but fall in love with you. I don't know why they played that one, but it
Was
was
it a fast version?
no slow, very slow.
That's very odd.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know who played the music, but
I don't know. Maybe you could check into that and see what happens.
mm-hmm.
Anyway, we went from Jeffrey Simmons to Elvis. I can't help falling in love.
I can't help fall in love with Jeffrey Simmons on the field, man. He's a great defensive lineman. How can you not?
I remember when he got picked in 19. Nobody liked that pick. Knee injury, the incident he had, I guess, with his sister.
No, that was freshman year going into Mississippi State. He was at a bar and hit somebody.
Yeah,
that was.
But somebody was running their mouth.
Yeah, but that was all taken care of once he got to Mississippi State. He even made a big old apology about it.
No,
and it resurfaced when he went into the draft.
Because ESPN was so stupid, and they're like, Jeffrey Simmons, but look what happened. I'm like,
that's what I thought was just so dumb about the entire draft process. Was like they kept bringing it up. I'm like, this is old news. This was from like 4 years
right,
ago.
exactly.
There's no need to bring it up because he's already made a public statement about it.
Yep, and corrected his and whatever,
Yeah.
But somebody's running their mouth and going after my family member. Sorry, man, it's going to happen. Yeah. And they were like, this isn't good. I was like, this dude's got some. I mean, he's raw, massive, and then he turned in. But he did it himself, right?
Right.
He could, like Isaiah Wilson was just a big lug and didn't have that desire.
Doing donuts at 440.
Oh my God! But Simmons had the desire, and you see what's paying off now. They just need 40, 52 more. Was it 53? 45 roster, 53 total.
53 man roster.
Yeah, they need 52 more of those.
Yeah.
People who refuse.
I didn't know what math you were mathing there.
Well, game day it's 45, right?
Yeah, I didn't know what you were referring to in your name.
The roster.
Yeah. 53.
53. All right, we'll come back with more. Mike Orr going to be at 1:30. Talk a lot of football today here on the show. This is the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game. All right, welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe show right here, 102.5 The Game, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Kevin says on our text line, 615-737-1025. Dr. Craig, the Elvis nod last night probably comes from Sunderland AFC supporters.
Okay.
They're famous for singing Elvis Presley's Can't Help Falling in Love at the end of the game. A nod to the U.S. effort from the supporters, I'm sure. Kevin from Hendersonville.
All right, Kevin. Thank you. That's something I didn't know.
Okay, very
Love
good.
that.
Let's go to the phone lines. Let's bring in our good friend Kenny the Mailman is there. Kenny, how are you, buddy? Are you staying hydrated today?
We're going to do it, Ron. No panic. Hey, I want to clear up a couple of points. Is Paul Skeens, we was talking about the Pirate pitcher a little earlier, is he still dating Olivia Dunn?
I believe so.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes. Hello.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, he doesn't have any problems. Yeah, he doesn't have any problems. Nobody's
That's a
worried
good
about
point.
his ERA. Joe, I hope you know this. There's a young kid, I think he went to DCA recently and went up to the Naval Academy and wound up setting, at the time, the all-purpose rushing yards. He played
Pasture.
quarterback in the
He went to Good Pasture.
You remember his name?
Keenan Reynolds.
Wow. Hey, that was like watching a well-oiled machine when he was there. That's one of the people think is boring, but if you sit and watch it, it's so pretty to watch. It's
It
a
was.
great
He was like the
equalizer.
7th team quarterback when he got there and worked his way up to become number 1. And I'm telling you, when the option is run or ran to its full potential and everything's kicking on it, it is fun to watch because you can't stop it.
Yeah, it's an equalizer for smaller teams because you can get 2 or 3 blocks on one guy. So,
Yep.
And the third and final one, I would love some good news. I haven't heard an update on Ronnie McMahon lately. Do you have any news on Ronnie? And I'll get off there and listen. Good to
I
listen to
don't,
y'all.
but we will ask Mike Organ. He might know coming up the next segment. So stick it right there. We'll find out for you.
Got you covered. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Kenny. Kenny the Mailman knows what's going on right there as well. Yeah. And then somebody's asked why you can't run the option in NFL. They're just too good athletes on defense. You're not getting anywhere. You're going to get swallowed up.
Yeah.
And the third and final one, I would love some good news. I haven't heard an update on Ronnie McMahon lately. Do you have
So
any news on
feedback
that?
we're getting there. Unless Kenny's, I don't know what's happening there.
I'm confused.
I don't know. I thought he hung up. And he did hang up. Okay. We good, Brando?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Was that like
Maybe that's just for only we heard that. He's in our heads like that.
rent
Right?
free?
We could do all that.
Where were we?
Olivia Dunn,
No, were we?
option, offense.
The option offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about the NFL.
Plus, you can't, for example, Ryan Tannehill's not running the option.
No.
Your quarterback's got to be able to run and take a beating.
Yeah.
And the
Run it with
NFL
Pavia. Run it with Pavia if you're Baltimore.
Yeah.
Run it with Pavia.
I had no problem with that.
They did it with Taysom Hill a little bit, right?
They did. And like, why get Lamar Jackson beat up on 4th and 1? Let Pavia come in and run that offense and see if we get a couple of yards.
Yeah.
I'm not getting my quarterback hit. That's why I had such a problem. You know, when Casey and I were talking, like, Cam Morton used to run more. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He does. Every time, if anybody played football, when a quarterback takes off, I will do everything in my power to absolutely destroy him. Because you're a runner, man, and you're the guy. And I would love. They talk about when Mahomes takes off, how Mahomes is so protected now in the NFL when he takes off running, he slide and everything. I mean, if I got a free shot on him, goodbye.
Yep. How you doing? Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.
Right.
Happy New Year. We'll see you after your coma in 3 years.
Yeah, and that's the thing now is like they're so protected. I get that.
Yeah.
But back in the 80s and 90s, a quarterback took off running, done. It was done. That's why I always like seeing McNair just plow past
It's like
people, man.
bulldoze down
Yeah.
the field. Yeah.
That was fun to watch him do all that stuff. So back then. All right, we'll take the break. Come back. Mike Organ is with us from the Tennessean. We'll try to get through this next hour together. So please stick right there with us.
Come on, man.
We got a lot of football to talk with Mike when we come back. We're the Chase and Big Joe Show right here, 102.5 The Game, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown. Yeah. Big Joe Show right here, 102.5 The Game. We're honored now to be joined by Mike Organ from the Tennessean with us for the next hour. Mike, welcome in, buddy.
Well, thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Dr. Crane just put me on the screen. I didn't know. I would have worn a tie if I'd have known I was going to be on TV.
Oh, don't worry about that. I look terrible every single day, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, you do.
We would get you on here because, look, July 1st, we're now July 2nd, so the second part of the year's going on. Remember, this was like when it all, back in the day, it all started heating up with football, when all we had was Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and MTSU football occasionally back. But now we got Preds, we got soccer, you got Titans. I mean, it's crazy how great things have changed in 30 years.
We always had the sounds, though, and the sounds were the number one thing through the summer, which is amazing. I'll tell you this, the sounds were our number one budget item for many years. We spent more money covering the Nashville Sounds than we did Tennessee, Vanderbilt, anything else. And I'll just tell you, it was $60,000 a year. I remember the last figure I heard, and that would have been in the early 90s, mid 90s. We covered them like a major league team. We went everywhere. We went to BP every day. We went on every road game.
You had game capsules, right?
We had game, absolutely. We covered them like a major league team. We did that for many years with writers Tom Squires, Bud Burns. I believe Larry Taft was our last writer to cover them that way, to cover them on the road from the beginning of spring practice till spring camp till the end of the season.
Yeah.
And it was our number one budget item considering all the travel we did. And you remember some of the different divisions they were in, they were all over the country.
Right, they were. I love the team in 87. Like Chris Sabo was here, Dibble was here, Randy Myers, Norm Charlton. I mean, because they were the Reds affiliate. And then the Reds won the World Series in 90, and the Sounds were an affiliate of them, but it was fun going to Greer Stadium because you'd see these guys on Sports Center soon.
Yeah, that's somewhere along the line, people stopped watching minor league baseball like that, waiting for those players to come up. And now very few minor league teams are covered like that anymore. And I give the major leagues and the minor leagues credit for recognizing that and making the event more than baseball. You don't go to see Sabo and Dibble and those guys anymore. Yeah, if somebody comes up or comes down, you go out to see them.
Sure.
But that was a major part of it back then. Now they want a consistent crowd throughout the season, and the Sounds do fantastic.
Yeah.
They've been one of the top drawing teams in the minor leagues for years, and they'll get 5,000 to 10,000 a night, and that's because they've made it more than baseball. You got ping pong, a miniature golf course out there,
the bandbox and
the bandbox, the bars. Yeah, you've got all that, and baseball is just a part of it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the way the Predators were when they first started. You came down here to the Predator game was the game to go to before you burst out on Lower Broadway, and then you became a Predators fan.
That's right. Did you cover Jordan when he came here in the mid-90s?
No, but I just had lunch with Larry Woody 15 minutes ago, and Larry Woody was going to write a book about Jordan. Larry Woody and Larry Smitto are very close. Larry Smitto, the owner and the founder of the Nashville Sounds, former owner. Larry approached Woody about writing a book about Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan was supposed to come to play for the Sounds. And as things went about, Woody and Smitto got the book planned, and then Jordan ended up in Huntsville, right? Birmingham, yes. And he did, however, come here to play.
Yep.
And so Woody's book went from being about Michael Jordan to Michael Jordan being a chapter in the book.
Oh, and, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. So he became a chapter in the book about Larry Smitto bringing baseball back to Nashville, the whopping success it was. And there was the Michael Jordan return.
I just remember going out there and they had to, remember they used to rope off the outfield at Greer Stadium? Like they put fans in the outfield.
Yeah.
Because it was so crowded. I just remember seeing Jordan out there that day and he was 0 for 4. And, you could tell like, all right, he doesn't really belong in the baseball field. But I'll never forget the crowd. It was very quiet because everybody was like, holy cow, that's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and a fan ran out, or a fanatic, I guess more specifically, ran out on in the outfield one time while Jordan was out there and approached him. Of course, security and some of the other players tackled the guy before he could do anything. He wasn't going to do anything. He wasn't armed with anything. But yeah, that's why they had to keep close security on him when he was here.
All right, so we've argued, Dr. Crane and I have argued this, and Chase, you're on the Major League Baseball coming to Nashville. I don't think it's happening for 10 years. I don't know if you know what the latest. Do you think it's going to be here in 10 years?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the next expansion.
That's right.
I mean, I think it's part of Manfred's legacy is he wants expansion to be part of his legacy, to repeat myself. And I think he wants us. And right now I feel like he wants Salt Lake. Yeah. I think that's probably the two leaders. The other team has kind of changed, but Nashville has been the consistent team, I felt like. And I say that I'm not a huge baseball fan. I'm definitely not a huge Major League fan, but Joe, you couldn't tell me anything that Nashville's going to get right now and me say, no, we're not going to get it. I mean, we get everything we want. We didn't get the World Cup. We didn't get SEC baseball. What else haven't we gotten? That's just about it. Now, of course, we don't know what all was bid for.
True.
Scott Ramsey's Sports Council, other entities haven't told us. Right. So we don't know for sure what has been out there. But the things that we know about, and they're pretty big things,
right?
We haven't gotten. Those are the only two that come to my mind.
Olympics in 28 at Geodis Park.
Yeah,
you gotta remember that as well.
All right, Dr. Crane, where's this baseball stadium going to magically appear? You paying for it? Because I'm not.
No,
because we're paying for the damn Titan Stadium that's happening now.
It's crazy how that's not privately funded. That still blows my mind to this day. But no, for the baseball stadium, it has to be privately funded in some capacity, right?
It does, and there's billionaires in this town now, and plenty of millionaires, and there's Oracle right down there next to the new stadium.
Yep.
Huh? Right next to Top Golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys heard it, Top Golf has just that didn't work. Apparently,
that's what we're hearing. But
I hear that it was like $1 billion entity when it started, and now it's like worth a few million or something. But anyway,
there's all kind of reports about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, there's plenty of room down there. Now, of course, the junkyard, the metal
scrapyard,
the scrapyard is there, and we still to this day don't know what that's going to be.
There's too many toxins that seep through the ground that makes it like.
That's what I've heard. Everything you could imagine, I've heard about over there. I don't know.
I just recall reading an article about TSU and saying that there is like some greenery like on the outskirts of their facilities that they could have somebody purchase.
Well, that's one of the Nashville Stars, the baseball deal has looked at TSU. That all to me was swampland that I've, and I'm over there 2 or 3 times a month, and I always thought that was swampland. But to that end, Joe and I live out in Hermitage or near Hermitage, and we know there was a driving range out there that was considered swampland. Well, you know what they did? They went in and they raised it up about 20 feet, and now they're going to build retail and everything there.
Right.
There's a Kohl's in Donaldson that was in swampland, we were always told, in Target. So all you do is build it up. So I don't know if they can turn that swampland into something where you could have a baseball facility at Tennessee State.
Well,
I just still think the other side of the river, the east side, just is the natural.
I mean, if they don't put the apartment complexes or whatever they're trying to build, that's where the old Nissan Stadium is currently, and they're going to say they're going to turn that into living quarters along with parking. If they don't turn that into that, I would say put the baseball stadium there because it could be like Kauffman Stadium in Arrowhead where they're right next to each other.
Yeah, I know down there is the ideal place. But the affordable living, which the mayor sold a lot of the deal on, has to go. I think it has to be down there.
Yep.
Now, how much retail goes, I don't know. Have you guys also heard that there may not even, the existing Nissan Stadium, the day the new stadium opens, they're supposed to start tearing down the old one.
Right.
Well, there's speculation now that they may not do that. They may, they're going to tear it down, obviously, but that they may not start construction on all the retail and the housing and all that stuff immediately. They may wait till after 2030, the Super Bowl, so that they have that big open space next to the stadium, the new stadium, to do all the stuff you do with the Super Bowl.
Like the 40-yard dashes they did with the draft and all that.
Yeah, think of what you could do with that big plot of land right there. And you don't have to worry about construction getting done by 2030, because if you start construction as soon as that stadium goes down in February, then you got to make sure it gets done by the time the Super Bowl gets here. And yeah, I think it can be done, but you don't construction delays and things like that.
You know what that causes? More cars on Broadway here, down there, everywhere. It's chaos.
And so what's waiting 3 years, till it would make, I think the 2030 Super Bowl is already going to be a success because I think we know how to do things here with evidence of the draft and some other things we've had. But I think that would put us over the top if we kept that space open, dedicated to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What about somebody said putting the baseball stadium outside of Davidson County? And I said no.
I just don't think with the traffic, our traffic, the way we have it, I don't think you want to fight traffic to go out to a baseball game on a weekday.
Right.
And,
well, the argument comes back is the Braves and Truist Park own all that, and there's nothing around. I mean, they're outside of the city, and I get that, but that's the Braves, right? And we don't even have a team yet. And people are talking about that. So
you've got a loyal fan base that's already willing to do things like that you wouldn't have here. And I just don't. It's not that I don't like. I just don't see them going up in another county, Wilson County, Williamson County, Sumner County. I just don't see people driving out to see it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, because I haven't been over there as often as I should because Gabby's Burgers over there. But the old Greer Stadium where that plot is on Fort Negley, is that now apartment complex or is that just open space?
I've been by there, but I haven't noticed what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's just open space and it's supposed to become apartment complexes.
I heard that too. So if that's the case, then why are we not utilizing property that we have downtown? That's my big issue.
Yeah.
That's what, again, that's old man yelling at cloud. I'm sorry.
But I don't know that you have enough space there for a major league stadium. I don't even think you have enough space at the existing First Horizon Park for a major league. Isn't that what they said when they put it up?
No, you can't.
It wouldn't be big enough.
You can't expand that. You can't build on top of it. The Sounds made that very clear years ago. That is not made for Major League Park. That is for Sounds and Sounds only.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have parking with Germantown right there on top of you. So it's going to have to be somewhere. And I just don't, but I just think there's enough money in Nashville now, and I think Manfred wants that this is where he wants to go.
Yeah,
and I feel like we'll have Major League Baseball within we're 27, 6 years.
Plus, we have a strike next year, right?
Yeah, that moves everything back. Yeah, that does.
Yeah, potentially. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. Baseball's in such a great spot right now. I mean, I would hate to see a lockout, but it does turn in that direction. I think you've alluded to what, Manfred has mentioned, and that's trying to get Nashville a team before his contract expires in 2029, I believe, 2030.
It's right at the same time that it would come in.
Yeah, so I think that's his goal is to get it done by then, but we'll see.
What else is on his legacy? I'm just, like I said, I'm not enough of a scholar on Major League Baseball to know, but I do know I was told that at some point that he wanted expansion to be part of his.
That, and he wanted to make sure the Athletics had a new home, and that's obviously happening. They're going to Vegas for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they have tried out a few minor league game or major league games at the minor league ballpark, not in Sacramento, but in Las Vegas. I think they're called the Aces, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's right.
And they had a really good turnout from what I read online, from what I saw watching the game. So I feel like it'll be a success in Vegas. It's just a matter of time to see an expansion franchise.
Now, was he part of his legacy instant replay?
Yeah.
Under his watch?
The balls and strikes, yes, ABS system, because that was implemented to minor league baseball 3 seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, yeah.
And they tried it out in the Arizona Fall League with the challenging of the helmet, and it was a success. It didn't cut down on, or it didn't add any extra time when it came to, time in between pitches and so forth. So it was a huge success. So what Manfred has done in those situations for baseball have been a success. He's cut down basically 9 innings to 2 hours and 35 minutes on average, which is really good. You're not spending 5 hours at the ballpark anymore. I mean, as a baseball purist, I didn't mind spending 5 hours in the baseball park, but I could get why 2 hours and 30 minutes is the right time.
And as a television viewer, you're not taking naps during the game, which television matters the most.
Right.
And you had to do that.
Yeah, and at the 7th inning stretch, you're not stretching and going back to sleep. You're stretching and watching the last couple innings.
What about you like the Ghost Runner in baseball? Has that been around for a while now?
Yeah, for the Ghost Runner second for extra innings. Yeah, I'm okay with it. It speeds up the game. It doesn't prolong it. I know college baseball didn't really have the Ghost Runner at second,
Right.
And it was just you're waiting 17 innings. What was it? Tennessee and Vanderbilt. They went 17 innings early on in the season. They used their entire bullpen. So you're thinking the rest of the series is going to be a bunch of home runs, a bunch of RBIs, and it's great. It's great seeing bat to ball contact. We get that, but at the same time, it's cool to see a rubber match. It's cool to see back and forth arms on the mound.
You know what a rubber match is?
Not going there, Joe.
You know what it is?
Yeah, rubber match.
What is it?
It's the rubber on the pitcher's mound.
Rubber match is you're doing a best of 3 series and you're tied at 1. The third game is called the rubber match.
Oh, well, I'm talking about on the rubber.
Yeah.
Like that's what they call the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
They call it a pitcher's mound.
Oh.
But the rubber match is always the third game.
Day,
The rubber's match is the third game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a wrap up best of 3 series.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm helping you out a little bit. Right? We're buddies.
I feel like we talk in circles all the time.
Well, you should.
There was something you guys said yesterday when I was getting off the exit of the interstate exit, and you just, after Joe said something, you go, why?
Probably because he's cussing. Guy cusses like Red Fox all the time. I'm like, stop doing that. All right, we'll take a break, come back. Let's talk about, listen, what the hell's going on at the Fairground Speedway? Right?
Yes.
What's the latest? People ask me all the time, and I'm like, I don't know. Ask you or Chase, because I don't know what's going on. We'll get the very latest what's happening with Mike Organ right here. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel, right on 102.5 The Game.